Good morning, friends. Join me here in our seated bound angle pose where the soles of your feet are together, your knees are wide. You're always welcome to put support underneath them, such as blocks or books. I am sitting on a blanket today that just feels super cozy to me, so feel free to do the same. We'll take a few cleansing breaths sitting upright to center and ground and really arrive in this present moment. Close your eyes, rest your hands on your lap. Sit with a tall spine, so imagine there's a wall right back behind you. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale side out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. One more time. Inhale as big as you can. When you get to the top, try to sip in just a tiny bit more air. Then exhale, let it all out. When you get to the bottom, squeeze your abs tight. See if you can push out just a little bit more. Then close your mouth and breathe naturally. Then inhale, sit a little taller. Feel your crown reach towards the ceiling as your seat presses into the ground beneath you. So these two opposing forces, these directions, these energies, they're working together. When you're ready, use an exhale, start to lean over your lap, folding forward. It's okay if you don't go very far today. This is your first stretch of the day, so take your time getting there. Find what feels good to you here. Once you find that edge, that place you want to bend forward to without pushing yourself to an injury, try walking your hands forward. So feeling a little sensation of stretch through your rib cage, through both sides of your body. Feel free to adjust your feet as needed. If you fold forward and it's a little too tight, you can come back upright, scoot your feet a little further away from you, and come back down. Take an inhale here, and with your exhale, walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Press through your left sit bone. Stay grounded. So feeling a little more sensation through the left side of your body. One more big breath in, and a full breath out. With your inhale, walk your hands back to center. Exhale right into the other side. Walk your hands to the left. Ground through your right sits bone. Feel that stretch along your right side body. One more big breath in, and a full breath out. Using your next inhale, walk your hands back to center. See if you can walk your hands just a little bit further away. Make your arms a little bit longer. If not, that's cool. Don't force it. And use your next inhale to walk your hands towards your body, slowly rolling your spine, coming upright. Use your hands to bring your knees towards each other, soles of the feet to the floor. And then let's shake it out a little bit. So hands behind you and windshield wiper your knees back and forth. And coming back to center, you're going to crisscross your legs. You can come to Sukhasana, easy pose. Draw your right foot in, followed by your left. Or if you'd like, you can come into fire log, stacking your left on top of your right. Yogi's choice. Inhale here, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, take a side bend to the right. So Right hand comes down, left arm reaches overhead, and then roll your left shoulder onto your back. See if you can peek up towards the ceiling. Reach your fingertips a little bit further away from your armpit. Press through that left hip. See what sensations this creates. Inhale, come back upright. Lift both arms overhead and exhale, release your arms down. Swap your legs around. So either bringing your left foot in first or placing your right foot on top. Try to use the same style of cross. Inhale, stretch your arms overhead. Exhale, side bend to the left. Plant your left arm down. Right arm reaches overhead and to the side. Roll your right shoulder back. Open your chest, gaze upward. Reach through your fingertips. Press down through your right hip. Inhale, come back upright. Exhale, release your hands down. Stretch out your legs, shake them out, slap them out, give your knees some love, and meet me in tabletop. In tabletop, you bring your wrists under your shoulders, middle fingers point forward, spread your fingers as wide as you can, and press your weight evenly through both hands all the way down to the finger pads. So you're not putting your weight just into the heel of your hands. That can cause your wrists to fatigue quite a bit faster than if you spread your weight. Then bring your knees underneath your hips. You want those femur bones to be equal with each other. So you don't want them too wide, too narrow. Think of number 11. Untuck your toes. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat. Press your hands into the mat. Separate your shoulder blades just a little bit more. Draw your navel in towards your spine. Nice strong foundation here. Take a deep breath in, and with your exhale, bring your right hip and shoulder towards each other. Left hip and shoulder move away from each other. So opening up through the left side body, coming into your sassy cat. If you want to bend an elbow here, you can. Maybe you even take a peek over that right shoulder, back towards your hip. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, left hip and shoulder come together. Right hip and shoulder separate. Maybe you take that peek over the left shoulder this time. Inhale, back to center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Go back and forth a few more times. Go slow, go intentional. Take one more to the right, one more to the left, and meet me back in neutral tabletop. And then from your neutral tabletop, inhale, stretch your right leg straight back behind you. Exhale, you're going to bring your right knee to the outside of your left leg, your left calf. Walk your hands towards your body. You're not going to be centered on your mat anymore. Widen out your feet and come back into the legs for cow face pose. So you can always sit on a prop here if you feel like you're leaning over, especially over to the right side on this one. You want those hip bones to be even, those sits bones to be even. If this is really uncomfortable for you, come on back to that easy pose. But I do invite you to try to take some variation of this cow face pose. So working towards stacking your knees. You're going to inhale here, exhale, lean forward about 50% of your capacity. Try to keep your spine long, so don't fold and hunch and crunch into it. It's just gentle leaning forward. Still press through those sits bones. So your booty's still on the mat, you're not lifting up here. Use your hands for support to help hold your torso up. Then inhale, come back upright. And then slowly roll over your legs. Start to bring your right knee back under your hip. We'll take another round of sassy cat. Inhale here, exhale, right hip and shoulder together. Inhale, exhale, left hip and shoulder together. Inhale, and exhale in neutral. Inhale, stretch your left leg back. Exhale, drop that knee on the outside of your right. Walk your hands towards your knees. Let your feet start to splay outward, and this right knee stacks on top of the left this time. So again, modify as needed. If this side feels different from the first side, try a different option if this is creating pain. Sitting tall, inhale deeply. Exhale, lean forward about 50% of your capacity. Keep your spine long. Inhale, gently come back upright. Now start to roll over those knees. Plant your right knee, uncross your left, come back to your tabletop, bring your big toes together, widen your knees towards the edges of your mat, sink your hips towards your heels and your forehead towards the floor. We'll take a moment in child's pose. Walk those fingers out, away from your armpits. See if you can cupcake your hands here, or tent your hands, whatever you want to call it. Finger pads down, palms up. And then crawl your fingers away from your body as far as they'll go. And gently place your palms back down onto the mat. Inhale here, exhale, walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, similar to what we did in the beginning. Make sure your knees and your hips stay right where they were, don't move them. With an inhale, walk your hands back towards the center and exhale right over to the left side. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, relax. Take 2 more breaths in your child's pose, and then meet me back in that tabletop. And from your tabletop, walk your hands towards your knees, up your thighs, and come into a tall kneeling position. I like to offer turning sideways on your mat so that you can keep this protection and this padding underneath you. If you're on a carpet, doesn't really matter. But for our purposes here, turn sideways. And then from here, you're going to stretch your right foot out to the side. You can have your toes either pointing forward or to the side. So try not to do in between. So either straight forward at 90 degrees, straight back at 180, or not in between. So one or the other. You want to keep this left hip aligned over your knee, so make sure you don't start to lean to either side. And as we come into this next side bend, you want to make sure you don't put pressure into this right leg. So you're using your leg as a guide. You're gently touching your leg if you're touching it at all. If you need something to help support you here, this is where a block would be good, or books or Amazon boxes, whatever you get at home. So inhale, stretch your left arm up overhead. Exhale, take a side bend to the right. Again, gentle, gentle touch if you're touching at all. Try to keep your left hip above your knee. Try not to let it move with you. Roll that left shoulder onto your back. Reach your fingers away from your armpit. Take a gaze up towards the ceiling. Inhale, come back upright and release your left arm down. Bring your right knee in. We'll go for that gate latch pose on the other side. Stretch your left leg out. Again, pull your toes pointed forward or sideways, whatever's more comfortable in your ankle right now. Keep the right hip lined up above your knee. Remember, gentle touch with the left hand this time. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, side bend left. Reach your fingertips away from your armpits. Turn your gaze upward. Keep that shoulder rolled back. Inhale, come back upright, and exhale, release. Bring your left knee in, and let's take a few hip circles, one way and the other way. And come back onto your mat, and make your way down onto your back. So next we're going to set up for a banana pose. You're going to bring your feet to the edges of your mat. Then laying on your back, stretch your arms overhead. And then open them up towards the edges of your mat. So your big X shape. From here, scoot your left foot over towards your right. So you're going to feel a stretch along the left side of your outer hip, maybe down towards your knee, maybe up towards your waist. And if you don't really feel anything, try scooting both feet further to the right or crossing your left ankle on top of the right. And if this is good, if this is your edge today, stay put. If you'd like to add in some more upper body stretch, you can scoot your left hand over to the right. Keep both shoulders on the floor. Make sure you're not rolling onto your side. So you're just curving sideways and you're shaped like a banana. So just like with the lower body, if you don't feel anything, scoot both hands over to the right a little more and maybe even grab onto your left wrist with your right hand. So this is probably a little difficult to see with laying down. So ultimately, you're shaped like a banana. You can have your ankle crossed. You can hold onto your wrist for support, don't yank. But you're coming into that curvy shape, but you're not rolling onto your side. If you're holding your wrist or crossing your ankle, go ahead and release them. Using an inhale, slowly slide your spine back to neutral. Bring your left hand and left foot back to their side of the mat. Take 2 breaths, neutral body, that big X shape. And then join me in the other side. So starting to scoot your right foot over to the left side. Finding the appropriate amount of stretch for you. Crossing the ankle if you decide to. And then making that decision if this is your edge today or if you would like to add on. And scoot your right arm over towards your left and possibly grab hold of that right wrist this time. If you're crossing your ankle or holding your wrist, gently release. Inhale, slide back to neutral. Spine is long. Right arm and hand go back to their, or right arm and foot go back to their side of the mat. Coming back to your X shape. From here, bring your feet together. Point your toes. Bring your hands towards each other and reach up overhead. So full body stretch. Point and stretch and reach and lengthen and release. You're going to try something a little different this time. Now point your right toe, stretch your right arm. Try to completely relax the left side of your body. Point and reach and stretch and release. And the other side, point your left toes, reach your left fingertips, relax the right side of your body. Point and reach and stretch and lengthen and release. Let's go one more time, putting everything together. Point your toes, reach your fingers, full body stretch. Once you feel like you've found your edge, the tallest you can be, take a deep breath in. Zip in just a tiny bit more, you can do it. Exhale, sigh out your mouth. Relax your body. Coming into Shavasana, your final relaxation pose. Separate your feet a little bit. Let your toes fall away from each other. Bring your arms down beside you, palms facing up. Scoot your shoulder blades a little closer together. Breathe naturally and close your eyes. Soften your entire body from your toes to the crown of your head. Soften your feet, your legs. Soften your hands, your arms. Soften your torso, your neck, and your head. And start to soften what's going on within your head, any thoughts, any feelings. Allow yourself to just be here in a calm, relaxed state for a few more moments. I invite you to spend as much time in your final relaxation as you'd like. When you are ready to come back, bring your awareness to your mat, to your body. Start to bring some gentle movements to your body. Notice what you organically start to move first. Notice if you start with small movements or big movements. Allow your physical body to reawaken here. Draw your knees up to your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs. Nose towards your knees. Give yourself a big hug. Roll over to your side. Take a breath here in fetal position and then press yourself upright. Try to keep your eyes closed here. Come to a comfortable seat. Maybe you return to that bound angle pose that we started with earlier. Knees wide, feet together. Sitting with a tall spine, stretch your arms overhead. Use an exhale to draw your hands together. Bring your thumbs to your third eye. Allow your thoughts to be kind towards yourself and others. Draw your thumbs down to your lips. Allow your words to be gentle towards yourself and others. Draw your thumbs down to your heart space. Allow your heart to be open to love and be loved. With an inhale, lift the corners of your mouth and smile. Thank yourselves for stepping onto your mat this morning, for spending a little extra time, energy, and love on you. Namaste.